The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
Welcome to the music news for the streets. I'm your anchor man, SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. And in today's newscast, I've got all kinds of exciting stories from 8 Freebies, Teenage Engineering's new sampler, an update on the Polyend Play Plus. But our top story today is a freebie. It is for the Contact Library and it is called Old School Keys. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the story. So I brought you over here to Bedroom Producer Blogs first because they're actually offering 2 different sample libraries. So they're offering this Old School Keys, which we're gonna go over here shortly. And they're also offering Indie Voices. I downloaded Indie Voices. I wasn't the most impressed with it. So if you wanna download it, go ahead, but we're not gonna talk about that in the demonstration. I just wanted to let you know that that was an option as well. But as we open up FL Studio, Old School Keys is gonna look like this. I have covered this once before when they were giving it away for free. It is a pretty solid piano plugin because of the tools that you can use with it. So it's got like a phaser. Obviously you're gonna get reverb, vibrato, but it also has this Leslie cabinet over here, which makes it pretty solid. So when you push play, this is one of the pianos in the sample library. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this Leslie cabinet and just kind of mess with a few of these things. I'm not gonna go super in depth with this though. So as you can see, you can do some cool stuff with this. It's gonna come with 9 different presets. So I do like the electric pianos in this plugin. So here's one of the classic EPs. So pretty fire. We'll turn the Leslie on real quick on this one too. So you just kind of get some cool sounds with this. It's also going to come with some organs as well. So I'll go ahead and go to a couple of organs so you guys can check those out as well. So not a bad sample library. I definitely recommend checking this one out. I have recommended it in the past and I still think it's a pretty solid little sample library. The next story I have for you guys today is another freebie. This one comes from Quiet Music. It's called Classic GTR 2 Lite. So when you check out Classic GTR 2 Lite, it is going to look like this. It's the 2nd edition. I really like the first Classic GTR. If you don't have that one, go grab it. There's a light version. I actually like that one better than this version. But I'm gonna let you guys hear what this version sounds like. This one's gonna come with more stuff like distortion, reverb, chorus, just delay, some more controls. But this guitar sounds like this. So not a bad sounding Spanish guitar. It's gonna only come with 5 presets. Some of these presets are kind of more like experimental. So that preset's got like vape bubbles in the background. Pretty solid little plug-in. I would definitely recommend going to grab this if you need like a Spanish guitar, but I recommend going to get the first one first because I think that one is super solid. In breaking news, So Waves has just released their yearly free Black Friday plugin. This plugin is only going to be free for today and today only. It's called Silk Vocal. Let's take a look. So as we look here at Silk Vocal, what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to help you clean up your vocals. And what's cool is if you're not sure what it does, you can look down here at the bottom and it tells you. So like with the low end, it reduces boominess. And then you can audition the vocals too while you're messing with it, so you can hear what it's actually taking away from the vocals. They also have this Delta feature right here, which allows you to hear all three of the different bands together and what it's taken away. So as you look here in the mid-range, it's supposed to tame mid-range harshness. And then right here for the highs, it's supposed to suppress high-end resonance. So you got dynamics over here, so you have a compressor here as well. You can push the out, and then you have two different shelves. So you have a high-end knob, which reduces sibilance. And then you also have one that's basically a shelf. You get a bunch of different presets with this thing as well. So boom, you come over here and you got all kinds of presets. So I'm gonna let you hear what this vocal sounds like without Silk on there. And then I'm gonna let you hear what it sounds like with Silk on there. So this is without Silk.
I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no.
And then this is once I threw the Silk on there.
I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no.
So with the signal, what I did on this one is I actually compressed, compressed it, brought the threshold down on the compressor, and then I kind of tamed some of the mid, the highs, and the lows. You can also move the mid-range right here from what you want to tame. So I'm going to push play, and then I'm going to hit this Delta button right here so you can hear what I'm actually taking out of the vocal.
I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no, I don't want your love.
So as you can see, this is pretty good to help you clean up the vocals. I did put it in with some reverb and some delay as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play it again and just go through a few of the presets for you so you can hear what they sound like. But this is what it's going to sound like with a little bit of reverb and delay.
I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no, I don't want your love.
All right, so now we'll just go ahead and go through some of these presets so you can hear it.
I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no, I don't want your love. Ooh, I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no, I don't want your love. Ooh, I hate that I still love you. Oh.
All right, so I want to make sure I make this clear though. This is not going to be your all-in-one EQ. So this isn't going to be the EQ that you use on your vocals in order to bring them out or anything like that. This is just going to go ahead and tame a lot of like sibilance and like muddiness and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and play that with the guitar and the piano that I had, just so you guys can kind of hear what it sounds like mixed in with something else.
I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no, I don't want your love.
All right, and then I'll turn it off and I'll turn it back on. You'll be able to hear the difference.
I hate that I still love you. Oh no, oh no, I don't want your love. Ooh, I hate that.
So if you're messing with vocals a lot, I would recommend going to get that. It's free, but today only. I'll leave the link below in the description for that. So obviously what we know what that means is that Waves is probably going to make a bigger plugin with more tools and everything like that for their next release. In shocking news, it looks like Teenage Engineering has just dropped a brand new sampler. And in untypical fashion for Teenage Engineering, this one's actually reasonably priced at $299. I'm absolutely shocked. But as I take shots at them all the time, I have to make sure, I guess I give them their flowers, when they do something that's not trash. So since this isn't trash, man, I appreciate y'all for this. Let's go ahead and check out the story. So when we look here, this is what the new KO2 is going to look like. This thing looks pretty decent to me. It does, like everybody else says, it kind of does look like a calculator mixed with like an old school tape recorder, like from when, the 80s, early 90s. But as you see here, it's gonna have 9 different pads. It's gonna have a bunch of different controls. So what do we get? The EP KO2 is a mobile sampler, sequencer, and composer. The combination of features is probably what we usually call a groove box. There's an integrated microphone and speaker and a teeny 64 megabit to sample into. It can handle 6 stereo or 12 mono voices and has room for 999 individual samples. It samples in 46.875 kilohertz and 16-bit with 32-bit internal processing. It deals in projects where each of the 9 available projects can contain 80,000 notes. These are managed through patterns in groups of 4, where a pattern has 12 tracks for samples and MIDI. All controls can be recorded and automated with or without looping. So that's pretty solid. The pads are pressure, velocity sensitive with polyphonic aftertouch. That's also nice too for the $300. And they can be used to trigger samples and also drop in effects. There are 6 built-in synth effects and master compressor. This thing operates off battery or off of USB-C. So you can plug this thing in. It's got a 3.5 millimeter jack for your headphones. All right, so let's go ahead and check this thing out in action. I've just pulled up a quick YouTube clip from DJ Fo. So, you know what I'm saying? If you like this, go ahead and check his channel out and give him the subscribe too. But let's check this out. Looks like a sampler to me, but this thing's got a bunch of effects on deck as well. So let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit and check out some of the effects. So it looks like you can do some pretty cool stuff with this for $300. Kind of interested in checking it out, but I don't know if I can give Teenage Engineering my $300 because they're teenage engineering. All right, guys, and next up for you guys, I've got 2 more freebies. Both these freebies come from Thunderton. The first freebie I have for you guys today is called Tape. So when you take a look here at Tape, it is going to look like this. It is basically an analog emulation of obviously a tape player. This thing's pretty solid because it's got a few different tape emulations down here at the bottom. So it's basically emulations of different kind of tape recorders or tape players. As you see over here, you're going to get a bunch of effects as well. So you're going to get like noise, space, echo, glitch, drive, 8-bit, dropouts. And then when you click on some of these, like as you click here on the noise, you're going to see here, you're going to get a bunch of different noise types, and then the frequencies in which you want, you know what I'm saying, for the effect to take place on. The same with space, with the reverb, you're going to get control over the room, the width, the frequencies in which the reverb is going to play on. The same with the echo or the delay. The glitch has robot mode, repeat. I've actually done a full review on this plugin, but this thing's pretty solid. So this is what that piano and that guitar sounded like without tape on there. All right, so now once I hop back over here and I throw tape on this thing, I can get it to sound like this. And then as I cycle through the different tape types down here, it's going to change the way that they sound. So what's cool about this is it's going to have a ton of different presets. We'll go ahead and go through some of the sounds and some of this other stuff first. To turn each individual effect on, you're just going to click on this knob right here. And so boom, we'll hit noise and we get different kind of noises. And then we can turn the noise down, or we can turn whatever it is that we want to turn down as well. Again, they've got reverb, all that stuff. got echo, you got glitch. This glitch is kind of cool because you can get it to do some weird stuff with this robot. So you can hear it's giving that static sounds, pretty cool. Over here as well, there's a whole bunch of different presets. You're gonna get some funky stuff with these presets. So you're really gonna get like some damaged tape sounds with this. One more thing I want to show you this one. You can also use this on some drums to make your drums sound like you're running them through a tape machine. So let me go ahead and turn on these drums real quick, and I'll let you hear what it sounds like when I run it on a bus over here. So these are what the drums sound like without tape on there. Now, once I turn this tape on there, though, I can get it to sound like this. That's pretty solid. You can definitely, you know what I'm saying, change up your sound and do a bunch of cool stuff with this. The next thing I want to show you guys is another freebie that they're giving out. This one isn't necessarily my cup of tea, but I thought I'd bring it to you guys because it's like a kind of like a gating effect, a pumping effect. So I put it on this little synth sound. This synth sound sounds like this. Once I throw this pump on there, though, I can get it to sound like this. There's going to be a bunch of different presets with this, or you can just come down here and you can change to like the you know what I'm saying, the design right here, and the design is going to change the gating effect. So you can get different patterns. What's also cool about this thing is that you can change the frequency in which the gating effect is taking place on. So that's pretty solid. That's a little different than any other really gating effect like this. You've got smoothing over here too as well, so you can make it click or you can make it smooth. You've got control over speed over here. And then you've also got more presets up here that you can mess with as well. So, you know, if you need a nice little pumping or gating effect, this one's going to be free as well. There's going to be codes to get both of these, but I will put the codes below in the description because I just can't remember what they are off the top of my head. Up next, guys, I have one deal for you guys. I dropped a couple of Black Friday deals videos already, so I didn't want to do a whole video or do too much talking about Black Friday deals because I've already done that. So I'll link one of those in the corner. But the deal that I have for you guys just went up yesterday, so I wanted to make sure I brought this to the channel. It's this SSL Vocalstrip and this Harrison Console Vocalstrip. I've never used the Harrison Console one, but I have used this SSL one. It is very solid. I did a comparison video to this, Nectar, and CLA vocals maybe about a year ago. And at the time, I thought that if this had reverb overall, it might sound the best. But the Nectar 4 is kind of, easier to use, but it's a lot more expensive. But that one does AI, uses AI to mix your vocals. So you get a great result with that. But for $29, this right here is definitely a super solid deal. I use this all the time. I'm not even lying to y'all. Ever since I started messing with it a little bit more, I like it a lot more because it just has some good features in it. Like the plosive feature is very solid. The de-esser is good, and the compressor and the EQ is good on it as well. Very solid little vocal strip. I would recommend it. Again, I've never used the Harrison console one, but this one typically costs $300 for the SSL one, and it's on sale for $29. So it's definitely worth checking out if you mix a lot of vocals. And I've got another freebie for you guys today. This one comes from In-Ear Display. This one's called Breathe, EREF. I'm not even sure if that's a B connected to the R, whatever. But this thing right here basically makes percussion sounds. So you tap on one of these buttons right here, and then it's going to automatically give you a new sound. So it's going to give you some kind of random sound. And you can make like hi-hats, snares, all kinds of different perks with this thing. So this is kind of the sound I have right now. So it's just going to be in hi-hat form this whole time. I'm not going to get too fancy with it, but I can blend it to the right or to the left because these are two different sounds. And so again, like I said, you can hit this button right here. Now, sometimes these sounds might be a little bit loud when they come out. If I just click on one of these, it's going to randomize the A or the B for me. And then I can do the same over here. It gave me lasers like pew, 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 pew. Let me stop. Let me go ahead and hit that again. So, I mean, you can get all kind of interesting stuff. You can randomize both, and it's going to randomize each individual, or both of the things. So I know it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but if you like, making your own percussion sounds or any kind of little weird little sounds that you can put in your beat, you can take this and then you can morph whatever sound that is and get some creative sounds and just put some different stuff in your beats. And up next, we've got some drama for you guys. It looks like the new Polyplay Plus just came out. First, we'll talk about the story and then we'll get into a little bit of the drama. So as we see here, this is what the new Polyplay looks like. It looks nice, nice little groove box. With this thing, what's new in it? It's got 4 new synthesizer engines. And then with the synth engines, it's also got sample packs now. ACD, a recreation of iconic single oscillator monophonic analog synths, according to Polyend. Next is FAT, which emulates vintage synthesizers. VAP is not a Cardi B reference. Jesus, I should have read this before I opened it up. But a 2 oscillator virtual analog polysynth with modulation matrix. Lastly, there's WTFM, which is a unique 2 operator FM synth engine that utilizes wavetable based oscillator driven by a 3x feedback system. The Play Plus will give you 8 voices of synth polyphony and add up to 8 sample voices with 3 synth slots total. The audio examples provided with the digital press kit sound very nice indeed. One criticism from the original Play is that it only offered mono sample playback. This one has stereo sample functionality. It comes loaded up with stereo sample packs to add to the library of over 5,000 samples. There's no mention of sampling function, however. They also say that the Play Plus allows for multi-track audio over USB. Open it up in your DAW and you'll have access to 14 separate stereo audio tracks. That's very nice to see. USB MIDI is also still supported. Along with what they've mentioned, Polyend Play Plus also adds new fill modes, a piano roll for sequencing, all of those synth engines, a scale filtering to make sure that you don't hit any bum notes. This along with all the functions of the original plays, such as effects, sequencer, all that other stuff, is super solid. Now here's where the controversy comes in, and for me, I don't even think it's really controversy, but the Play Plus will be available for $799. But you can upgrade your old Play Plus for $399. And that's where all the commotion and where YouTube has lost their minds over the last few days. We're basically saying, Polyend didn't do good by their consumers, which ultimately I don't see what the big complaint is, especially if you bought one of the plays last year. If you had it for a year or, a year and a half, it's no different than like a car. You buy a car, and I said this in a video that I made the other day, every year there's going to be a new Altima, but you don't get to just trade your Altima in for free every year. Like, part of the issue was that they couldn't make the Play Plus because that there wasn't enough components. There wasn't all the components that they needed because of, you already know, because of the vid, because of COVID. And so that didn't allow for them to make this product. Well, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't make the other product. And then they're giving you an option to upgrade for $399. So if you don't want to upgrade, just don't upgrade. I guess I don't want to sound like a jerk and just go all hard. But just looking at it from the outside in, it's not really that big a deal. If you want to upgrade, upgrade. If you don't want to upgrade, don't upgrade. Like, you can't be mad at the company for deciding to offer this one for $799 because of the price that you paid before, because parts were more expensive before. Parts were more expensive a year and a half ago. And then I've seen comments in the comment section like, well, then they should have just waited to get the chips. They might not have known when the chips were going to come. Nobody knew when the chips were going to come. Nobody knew when all technology and everything was going to get rolling again. Nobody knew all that stuff a year and a half ago. Every company was having problems. Remember how long it took everybody to get Sony PS5s, and Sony's a much bigger company than this. And so it's like, I just don't understand where the big frustration is. You're mad because they're only charging $799. Well, if they would have charged $1,200 for this, then they probably would have charged you $600 for the upgrade. The more they charge for this, the more expensive the upgrade was going to be for you guys. So, it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. They at least tried to do something good for the community, and then that just made the whole community go up in uproar. I honestly want to know in the comments what you guys think that they could have done better, other than giving you a free copy of the Poly Play Plus, because that's not even a reasonable, a freaking reasonable solution. Other than you being able to send your Poly Play Plus in, and they give you all the new components for free, because again, that's not even a feasible solution. I just want to know what you guys think is a feasible solution to this problem. Let me get that down in the comment. Maybe they'll see it and maybe they'll give y'all what y'all want, All right, guys, and up next, I've got 2 more freebies for you guys. I wasn't going to necessarily cover the first freebie, but I decided, you know what, I might as well. So this freebie is called Heatwave, and it's by Slate Digital. When you open this up, it is supposed to be a combination of EQ, compression, and saturation. So it's supposed to be able to add some flavor to your drums, to your basses, and to your guitars. Really, you can use it on whatever you want to. But I put it on these drums. The drums sounded like this initially. I'm just going to turn them on. You'll be able to see the knob go orange or red. And it also has this clip feature here as well. But you can obviously use that to get some saturation in your drums. There's also some presets in here. I'll go through a few of those. This thing also sounds pretty good on an 808. So I've got it on the sub right here. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it off, and then I'll turn it on. You'll be able to hear it, obviously, clear as day. So, you know, it's a decent saturation plugin. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily going to cover this because there's a whole bunch of good saturation plugins out there for free. But I know a lot of people rock with Slate Digital. So if you've got the Fresh Air, you can grab this too for free. The only thing about this is that you do have to register in iLok. So that's part of why I wasn't going to bring it up. But you know what I'm saying? It just takes a couple seconds. So, you know what I'm saying? You can grab that. The last thing that I have for you guys today is going to come from Vault's beta. So if you remember, they just dropped that piano here a couple of weeks ago. Now they have dropped some strings. The strings sound like this. So they've got a few features here. They've got this glisten feature and this timbre feature as well. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to turn them both up and down so you can hear them. And then down here, they have this sub feature. So if you hit a lower note, so that's pretty solid as well. And then you have just some other macros over here that you can mess with as well too. And then with like the sploosh and the echo, you can put the reverb or the echo in whichever way you want. So you can just tap that arrow and make it go whichever way you want. And then if you have the first Vault beta, now it's just everything goes into one plugin. So now you see I've got that piano. And again, what's really solid about this piano is this reverse feature right here, which reverses the piano for you. Well, that's what I got for you guys today. Hope I could help you guys out in today's newscast. Make sure if you guys do like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Signing off as your anchor man, SumnSumnSumn, hit the keys. Until next time, peace.
Some, hit the key.